Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Today a best of 5 between Cure here in the top right, spawning as the red Terran player. In the bottom left it's going to be Trap. These guys have been playing against each other a fair amount. We played each other in the GSL round of 4, I want to say it was. And afterwards they played one more time. I think it was either seasonal finals or some other tournaments that I can't quite remember. But they are very familiar with one another. And they're possibly also the greatest DVP and PvT player in the world right now. I think that would not be much of a stretch. You can perhaps Maru is actually better at DVP. That would actually saying Cure is the best DVP player is a bit of a stretch. I think Maru is just a little bit better. I also feel like Clem some real potential in TVP every now and then. Very different playstyles, of course, but yeah, Cure definitely is no slouch. And Trap is, well, in my opinion, just the greatest PvT player. Very solid in this matchup, has a very wide range of build orders, executes them at a very high level, understands what needs to be done to win games, can play the mid, early and the late game, all about as well. Sometimes does struggle a little bit getting back into games where he is behind. It's just, sometimes I feel like he doesn't quite have that X factor, something where it's easy for him to come back. But then again, I've seen him micro phoenixes at times, especially in games against Clem lately, dragging mines into armies, and it's been absolutely fabulous. We'll see if that's going to be the case here. Stargate has gained a bit in popularity lately. These Phoenix charge openers, or just the Phoenix into Colossi openers, are just so extremely common at the moment that I'm surprised to be seeing a fast factory coming out of Cure here. On the other hand, we do not have a Stargate coming out of Trap. No, it's going to be most likely a Twilight Council. The first Adept is being chrono boosted, and he goes for Twilight, and then what is it going to be? A Stalker or Adept? It looks a lot like a Stalker here. So he's going to be going into a Stalker as a secondary unit. Is he chronoing it? Yes, he's going to chrono. So double chrono on Warp Gate units. Something we don't see every day. It's a little bit expensive, and on a map that is as large as 2000 atmospheres, often you're not going to be capable of actually doing anything with these early game units. Hellion is going to be the first unit for Cure. That is kind of standard. I think this should... No, it barely doesn't finish up. Was that the 2-shot? I think that the SCV already got hit once by a probe. So an SCV has 45 HP, which means that if an Adept hits it twice, it will stay alive with 1 HP remaining. But of course, if the probe first hits it, that SCV once, then a 2-shot will do. Hellion's going to make its way across the map. And there's now 5 Marines, 2 of which are bruised. Trap is here with 2 units. This could get a kind of ugly here for Cure. Cure's going to lose 1 Marine immediately. Second Marine goes down as well. There's still 1 very low Marine. Oh, mine is popping out at this point. Hellion gets into the natural though. So let's see what this trade-off is going to be here for Trap. He just killed another Marine. It's going to be 3 Marines. And he'll get a full worker pool on the natural. Gets a full scout. And I think killed a worker as well here. So that's a lot of information. That's a lot of mining time lost. And it's still a worker kill as well. This is a good start here for Cure. Even though, if you take a look at the... 2 SCVs going down. That's fine. If you take a look at the units lost, it doesn't look too great necessarily. But this drop is also going to take out a Stalker. Really cool move there out of Cure. Fabulous start. I love that. Medivac is going to pick up here and try to go across the map with 8 Marines. He's going to fly straight into this watchtower vision. Yes, he is. So this is going to get spotted. Now Trap can start moving into position. Blink is about to finish up in 10 seconds from now. We have a 3rd base on the way. 2 extra pylons. Observer coming out as well. And then there's gas 3 and 4. Interesting setup here for Trap. Loses 3 workers so far. He's gonna try killing one of these Stalkers. Doesn't quite work out. I think he should just be focusing on these probes perhaps. Get 6, 7, 8. Wow. 10-ish workers. Now it's gonna end up with 9 workers. I think he killed 3 Stalkers as well. That's an absolutely fabulous trade here for Cure. Doesn't have a 3rd barracks yet. Doesn't have an eBay yet either. But has a phenomenal setup here, I have to admit. I wouldn't even mind if he sends this Raven across the map as kind of a A counter-attack. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. I'm a huge fan of this move. Actually, I'm a huge fan of this move. There's not a whole lot of units at home, but you know that Trap is not going to be capable of sending anything big across the map. It just doesn't have the Stalker numbers to actually start truly hurting you. A couple of units on the high ground. Double bunker is maybe already a bit too much. I think a single bunker would have been just fine, but double bunker, extra safety, won't hurt. Are we going to see Trap blink in here with 4 Stalkers? I'd be very surprised, because honestly there's just too much in position. Tank in the back, tank in the front, and then a bunch of units up on the high ground. We see a scan going down in the natural, trying to figure out what's going down there. This Raven is going to spot the fact that the Templar Archives is researching something. So we see the first turret being dropped and gets 3 workers for free. Also forces a full pull away. We have these Templars being warped in. Are not going to get the feedback off. Maybe now. Oh! Gets the turret down just before. I think that's a dead Templar actually. 150 gas down the drain. Another probe is going to fall as well. Good target fire here. 2 extra probes and a Templar. This has been a Raven that definitely paid for itself. As the Cure starting to move across the map. Medivacs aren't here yet. Combat Shield isn't here yet. Stim isn't even finished. 12 seconds away. And Cure is up 20 supply as well. It's a painful start here for Trap, who... There is a possibility that it just straight up dies against this weird looking push. This is the move out that says get out of my game. Like, this is a move out that says, hey, I don't really have anything, but leave. And Trap immediately obliges, as he really had nothing except a Templar, a Stalker, and an Immortal on the way. GG gets called, Cure wins game number 1, and we'll be heading into game number 2 ASAP. Game number 2 is going to be played here on Berlingrad, one of the smaller maps in the map pool. And a fantastic map, if it was only for the fact that it has a bunch of dogs running around in your main base, blocking your assimilators. Actually, the other day I was playing a game, and my assimilator got blocked. It's like you click it, and then you shift-click away, and then if the dog blocks it right in that moment, you actually don't get your assimilator, and you need to rebuild. It also had happened with a Nexus a couple of weeks ago. I think there's 1 dog in your main base. There's a couple of dogs outside running around having a good time as well. Now, the dog actually is the only critter in the game that you can't A-move, I believe. But what you can do is you can left-click it rapidly 16 times in a row and it will still explode. These are the fun facts that no one asked about. Just thought it was interesting that they made sure that the dog couldn't be attacked. Ooh, something's burning up there. Probe Scout is going to start moving across the maps. We have a barracks and a gas on the way here for Cure. Cure, who for a while, by the way, was very into proxying things and playing 1-base builds, and now seems to be completely happy once again with playing 2-base crap. At least that's what he did last game, and I do like that. A lot of the Terrans also have kind of been defaulting to things like 3-Rex openers, especially on the smaller maps. Things like high ground CCs, but Cure very consistent in playing his factory first. Every time I see him do it, I get a little bit surprised, honestly, because it's just not that common to see people play factory first on such small maps, because you just don't have enough Marines to deal with the first adept. Gonna get a command center down? Yep, instead we're gonna see a reactor first here. So the reason for that is very simple. This map is very small, it's extremely tiny even. And if you chrono boost your first adept and you block that command center for 5-6 seconds, if you open up with Marine into factory, you will have a single Marine and barely not actually, you barely don't have a factory unit out, and then 2 of your Marines will pop at a kind of a late time. However, if you open up with Reactor first, you will have 3 Marines by the time the first adept arrives, and usually you can save your command center. You can get it to finish up. Then your bunker will finish a little bit later, so if the second unit also decides to show up at some point, then you're gonna have a good time with that as well, because your units are in the bunker, so the Stalker will not be capable of kiting you all that much. We see here that Marine 2 and 3 are going to finish up, like I mentioned, just in time. 2:45 he's going to arrive. And with 3 Marines against a single adept, you should always be capable of surviving. Actually, no cancel out of Cure here. Or no depot race out of Cure. You get a cancel on the adept. Trap doesn't want to lose it. Blink once again on the way. And I once spoke with a very prominent European Protoss player who told me that when you open Blink, he said, it's almost always better to go aggressive, and you need to do something with it. He said if you get any damage and you're playing Blink, you're almost certain to die to the first push. And that's kind of what happened last game, right? Sure, it wasn't just a little bit of damage, but Trap took a decent amount of damage and just straight up died to the first push. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even a real push. Cure just F2'd across the map with like 7 Marines, a Marauder, and 2 tanks. Won that game. See if Trap this time is going to play a little more aggressive as a 4th gateway is going down. We're heading into 4-gate Blink territory, and Cure is already semi-preparing for this. Tank first. Is that the first factory unit, actually? Yes. It's going to be the first factory unit. Is a tank. Okay. It's going to be placed on the high ground even here. And the second unit either can be a Raven or a tank. I think it's going to be a Raven, otherwise the tank already should have started. Yep, here comes the Raven, and then I guess we throw down another tank. This is a super anti-blink opener. Quick third gas as well, because all of these units just cost a crap ton of gas, right? Raven, tanks, all that good jazz. No second barracks on the way yet, and now the second tank will start. Here we go. Beautiful. Walking into a bit of a supply block is Cure, but it's going to be fine. We see him spreading depots as well. This depot is for oracles, this depot is for both oracles and for potential blink-ins. So there's a lot of vision in that base. I like the way that he built his buildings here as well. Looks very pretty. You're gonna see the swap with the barracks and the starport. And I mean, at some point Trap will need to start moving across the map. No, was this a defensive 4-gate? No, it's... I don't know what this is, honestly. So he went for a 4-gate Blink, kept majority of his Stalkers at home. Now he's gonna start moving across the map. And throws down a 3rd base at what, the same time here? Or I don't quite know what the plan is. Raven's gonna make his way across the map as a counterattack. I really do like that. Good sense of timing here for Cure. I really like this setup that Cure's playing with. He has 2 tanks. The only thing I am a bit worried about is the fact there's not enough to perhaps protect this tank on the low ground. We see a Blink forward. Marines were a little slow with getting into position. And as a result, I think only a single Stalker ended up dying. It's a good trade for a single tank. That was a very slow response out of Cure there. The low ground is the most vulnerable one, because there's just a Blink into the tank. On the high ground, you first need to Blink into the main base, then walk to the tank. But here, Cure actually ended up losing that tank. That's a big deal. Now we have a full pro pool on this bunker. At the same time, we also have that Raven moving towards the main base. No pro production, of course, here whatsoever for Trap. He's mainly focusing on this push, trying to get his Nexus up. Follow-up attack also being thrown down. It's going to be a Templar Archive. We're going to have a next attack. Blinks forward on top of the bunker. No repair out of Cure. Stim isn't done yet, and Cure is going to be in a little bit of trouble. A bunch of workers are going to be going down, though. This first turret is actually going to kill what? 6 workers or so? Yep, 6 workers go down. Second turret is also going to try taking out a lot of workers. Tanks now being repositioned. One on the high ground here is being spotted by this observer. Another tank moving towards the low ground. Stim is finishing up in a couple of seconds. 10 probes have gone down on the side of Trap, and 6 workers have gone down on the side... Wait. On the side of Cure. There we go. Good lord, I said it correctly the first time. Okay, we get a quick feedback on this Raven. And normally I really do enjoy receiving feedback on anything I do. The Raven is a unit that can't handle critique very well. Loses all of his energy immediately. Idiot. 4 more gateways on the way here, as well as charge. So we have... it seems like Trap is going for a non-forge type of style. And I would have... I would have thought that this would go into Storm. It seems like Trap doesn't feel comfortable trying to go into that Storm research, and instead he wants to get these Archons out first. The charge isn't done yet though. We're gonna need, what, 50 more seconds? It's also just not enough Cure at this point. These 4 Stalkers are heading into the natural, trying to deny some mining here, taking out as many Marines as possible. Tanks are shooting at these Archons. Hop, hop. First Archon goes down. First tank also falls though. This is not a good trade here whatsoever for Cure. He's actually kind of struggling in this game, which is surprising after how many workers he killed. It felt like he didn't really set up a proper push. He was going for a similar setup as last game. He probably also believed that it was going to be straight Templar rather than Archons. And if that was the case, he probably just would have walked over his opponent again. But with the tanking power of those two Archons, Trap manages to stay alive. Now, we still do not have Storm. And it is starting to become an issue as the... Oh, hello. There we go. Raven throws down his auto turrets. As the game continues on, there's more splash coming out of our good friend Cure. Barracks 4 and 5 on the way here as well. Turret being thrown down. It's a weirdly positioned turret. And actually, third CC is halfway done. Worker count continues to grow for the Korean Terran as well. And I'm not quite sure whose position I like more here. If Cure allows his opponent to get up the Storm, put these Templar in a prism, and fight, I think this will be a bad position for Cure. However, if Cure is set up with this army before Storm finishes, how is Trap planning on breaking this? There's just not that many units. There's a bunch of mines here. There's a lot of Marauders. There's a tank, which will help greatly at breaking this type of position. Storm about, what, 10 seconds away from finishing up. 13 seconds. Here comes a stim. Here comes a fight. Super battery is being used. There's still 2 mines available. Storm has completed. Good first 2 storms. A lot of Marines taking big damage. There's 1 storm remaining right now. At the same time, 7 workers going down on the side of Cure. Will clean up this little run by. And now on Trap to kill this army before the reinforcements arrive. Because if these reinforcements end up arriving, that's going to be a huge deal. And we see that Trap doesn't want that to happen. He's going to be going in. A huge army here at the front. Here come the Zealots from the back as well. Nice little flank here. Well, little flank. Pretty decently sized flank. A bunch of Marauders are going to be going down. Good pullback. Don't forget, there's not a single upgrade here for Trap. Which means that if this army manages to kind of meet up... Hello, can we get a stim? It needs to run back with a stim. There we go. Where's the mines? Okay, 2 mines are coming in. Is there any mines left somewhere else? No, 2 mines are here. 1-1 upgrades. Liberators on the way. Ghost Academy finishing up. This is feeling more and more like a 2.5 base all-in. Worker production is continuing, but it kind of feels like fake worker production. It's not real. We have no storms available. Maybe 1 storm. 4 storms about to be available though. Right now the first one should be capable of hitting. Do we get a storm? Do we get a storm? Do we get a storm? No storms yet. Very patient play here out of Trap. Mainly focusing on getting those SCVs. Second storm also kind of whiffs, honestly, but Cure is losing still a decent amount of supply, and now it's getting close to losing this base as well. SCVs need to start getting pulled. Good blink forward. Cure, can we get an SCV pull? It's gonna end up losing the CC, and the job for Trap here is done. And this was a very important job. First 3 ghosts are on the way. I mean, the game probably is going to play out in a similar way anyway, where Cure will need to do some type of Hail Mary push. But yeah, I don't know, that fight was pretty decent here for our Protoss hero. It's gonna go up to 6 ghosts. Raven is still alive as well. It's getting F2'd back. We're just gonna throw down a... Hello, Mr. Raven. Hello. Well, it's gonna head back into the main base. No, it's gonna... This guy took a very adventurous path. He's gonna get caught by these stalkers, of course. Trap wasn't born yesterday, and Cure apparently was. He's losing this Raven right now. Is Trap actually thinking of getting a 5th base? No way, right? He's on 4 bases against a 2-base Terran. I don't mind the 4th base being built, by the way. I think it's generally a good call to have another base. Allows you to give up positions. Ooh. First 2 storms are big. Medivacs are empty. There's only 3 Medivacs remaining. I think this game is actually just over. Yeah, Trap's just gonna move forward. His +1 attack finished up as well. There's 3 Immortals in his army. There is 4 Archons, 2 extra Templars as well. Oh, 4th Immortal's about to show up. Yeah, this game is just completely over. As the score is gonna get tied up here in game number 2. That will allow Trap a little bit of breathing room in this series. Another big storm hits. GG gets called. And 1-1 is the score. Game number 3. Here on Blackburn. Secure spawning in the... Look at that SCV micro. That's fancy. Did it all with the little shift click right there. That SCV. I think it was this bad boy. Got queued to the correct patch. Yeah, Blackburn. Let me think about this map for a bit. Here's some air slowers over here. What else do we have? Some slowers in the middle. Tricky map for both races, honestly. At first, a lot of people thought this was going to be Terran favored, and it mainly has something to do with this general area. So if a Terran is pushing... Ooh. eBay block, right? Or is he gonna do the worst barracks position in the world? No, it's gonna be eBay block. Let me get back to what I was talking about. This general area is just really nice for Terran because it threatens the natural and third base area, while at the same time threatening a drop into the main base with easy access to a ramp. So you drop 4 Medivacs here, you put 2 mines on top of the ramp, that main base is gonzo, you know? But then there's also some other things that don't necessarily make this map that brilliant, is that with a single battery over here, you can defend both the natural and the third. Rotating is impossible, which means that all attacks come from this angle, at least majority of the time where they come from here. It's really easy to figure out where the Terran is. And you have this kind of weird setup where you need to walk around away from your main base and then over here, and things like Phoenixes are just really powerful in this aspect. I often feel like, oh, I thought it was going to be a proxy eBay, or well, an eBay block on the natural, but instead we actually see a proxy factory here coming out of Cure. What does that mean? I have no idea. It could be that he floats this factory into the main base, or he could build a starport right next to it and go into a triple Hellion drop, or something else that sounds stupid. I don't know. This could be a lot of things, honestly. It really could still be a lot of things, and just curious to see where we're gonna go with this exactly. I'm surprised to not see any... Okay, here we go with the scouting around the map. Don't think he's ever gonna spot this. Okay, it's going to be a triple Hellion drop. A couple of Marines behind it. I don't think these Marines are going to assist in the push, but these Marines perhaps can... actually not do anything. They're not gonna assist in the push, and thus they're useless. Stalker scouting here on this little low ground, doesn't see anything. It's like, okay, that's safe. We're good. We're good, guys. I don't think this probe is going anywhere useful either. Means that these Marines are gonna end up popping out. Now the question isn't necessarily, will this do something, but will it do enough? Because these Hellions are always gonna be doing something, right? You're hitting so darn quick, you're proxied right underneath your opponent's main base. These Hellions are gonna kill some probes. The question is, will they do enough damage? And what is the follow-up going to be here? Because all of your buildings are straight across the map. Are you gonna drop a couple of mines, maybe build an armory at home as well? Or, like, I don't quite understand what the plan here is going to be for Cure. I'm just curious to see. We see nothing being queued up, so this could just be a CC at home, and both of these buildings... No, we're getting in a mine. That's interesting. Okay. He's gonna rally this mine into the natural. Triple Hellion's gonna go for the main. 330 is the timing. Let's see how much these Hellions are gonna be capable of doing. Actually, brilliant defense so far out of trap. Second Phoenix is about to pop out. 2 workers are gonna be going down. And I think that is... it's not quite it, but... that's close to being it. Actually, that is it. Marines are gonna make their way across the map. Medivac gets taken out. Hellions get taken out. There is a mine over here, which is going to get guarded by these Marines. But the Stalkers say, hey, I know these Marines. They're on top of a mine, but I outrange Marines. Adept's gonna sacrifice his life. Both of these, or all 3 of these Marines are gonna get taken out. Brilliant start here for Trap. Completely going unscouted, this opener here for Cure. But Trap with the perfect unit positioning, the perfect response, and actually gets what he wants. Second battery though. Huh. I don't know. Why? Incomprehensible. So he sees the factory is not producing tanks, cyclones or whatever. He's gonna kill the factory. He knows he just killed a bunch of units, a Medivac, 3 Hellions, 5 Marines or so, and a mine. What's the second battery for? Who heard you, Trap? Maybe he thinks there's another barracks proxied over here. I don't know. Odd decision, but it's a decision that I will respect because it's made by the best TVP player in the world, or PvT player. It has to be there for a reason, but my my little ant brain can't quite figure out yet why it's there. Maybe we'll see later on why it's so useful. This mule's gonna get picked off the moment it lands. That's always a beautiful pickup. It's gonna actually really lower the income here. I think Cure's just dead, honestly. I can hype this up any way I want to, but yeah, was it 44? 46 supply against 70. There is Phoenix air control. There is almost as many Phoenixes as there is Marines. Well, it's not quite true, but it's 5 against 12, which means if you split them evenly, the Phoenixes can always pick up Marines wherever they want. Worker count is 17 ahead. Infrastructure sucks for Cure, and it's also not great for Trap. That's the one thing, I guess, is that both the first upgrade and the charge, which I assume it's going to be charged, are going to be kind of delayed, but the army is just going to be so extremely large. Not only that, it's going to be kind of sophisticated as well. There's going to be oh my god, there's so many sentries here. There's 4 sentries. Talking about being capable of holding chokes with an army like this, it's gonna be heaven. Battery being placed forward. I mean, yeah, this is brilliant. It's a brilliant start here for Trap. The dream of every Protoss player is to get a start like this. Getting proxied and absolutely slapping it down like you were born to do that. Templar Archives already on the way, and I mean, Trap supply is just so ridiculously high here. If you compare it to what Cure's supposed to have, Cure right now in a regular game would be at maybe 100, 110 supply, and Trap in a regular game would be at about 96 supply. So Cure is down 30 to 40, maybe even 50 supply to what he usually is, and Trap is down about 12 or 15 supply. So there's a huge difference there in what they gave up for the early game that they had. Trap really didn't give up that much. Let's be real here. He's gonna proxy a gateway across the map, doesn't want to bother with getting a robotics facility, and wants to finish this game as quick as possible. And a very solid way to do this by proxying a gateway across the map, then killing your opponent with Charged Phoenix. It's just so difficult for Cure right now to get anything done. Didn't even start a third command center yet. Doesn't have gases either. Hey, Cure is just such a crap spot, honestly. Is he gonna drop this into the main base of his opponent? Kind of controlling the middle path here. With a very small amount of Marines. There's too many units to put in the Medivacs, by the way. Yeah, it's so funny because Cure is really just all-inning, and yet Trap is going to be the one that is attacking. It's I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if it's a mistake here for Trap because he's so far ahead and he just does want to finish the game. So it's like, well, I can kind of feel it. On the other hand, what's wrong with throwing down a Robo and going into Colossi, or you know, it's like there's more things. Getting Storm. Like some big type of splash. Sometimes if you take a really bad fight against mines, it can go wrong, but yeah, I ain't seeing it here. To be quite frank with you all. The DPS of this army is bonkers, by the way. Like, there is 34 Marines here in this army, which is just a crazy amount. There's 8 mines as well. Marauders, of course, have pretty low DPS, a bit more tanking power. As long as there's no splash, Marine forces just do so ridiculously well. And right now, there's actually not a whole lot of splash. Storm is being researched. This mine count is something, hey? Look at a base trady vibe. This is a little bit of a base trady vibe. Just walk straight up into the main base. I like that. I really do love that. Not gonna kind of sit around and wait to break the ramp. No, just walks up the ramp. Gonna start going for the production here. A lot of these Templar are gonna get taken out before they ever get stormed. Templar gets warped in. Where exactly is that? Should I click you? Is that in the main base? Oh, it must be at the fort. I see where that warping was. Oh, other side of the map. Psionic Storm is about to finish up as Trap is getting pretty supply locked right now. It's killing a bunch of these workers though. Huh. This is funny because this is almost giving Cure a chance. Now, I'm not saying that Cure is winning here. I'm not saying that he has a great chance, but he is getting a chance that he didn't have before. I mean, there's 6 Medivacs on the map, which gives this army at least some staying power. This is gonna be the real issue though, isn't it? 3 Templar with Storm against 36 Marines. Yeah, have a good fight. 64 probes went down on the side of Trap. There is a single probe remaining. This command center is gonna burn out. This command center is also burning out. Which means that the pressure is going to be on Cure. He will need to break this because there's absolutely no way for Cure to get anything done. Cure does have a lot of money, but no SCVs on the map, and without a command center alive, he's dead. Or should be dead at least. feel like something was being attacked, but I don't quite see what. 5 Templar with this army, 5 Storms. Phoenixes are gonna try to not die, and they will, at least one of them will fail, as he just died. If I knew what the opposite of congratulations was, that's what I would tell that Phoenix. The reverse congratulations to you, my friend. There's a lot of mines here. No armory though, which means that these mines are gonna get picked up eventually. There's also so many Zealots. Marines, of course, dishing out a lot of damage. Here come the Templar. Here come the Templar, and boom. And oh, that's 1. There's 4 more remaining, and it's not like these Templar will never get energy again. Yeah, this is just trading energy for units. It's the best of the best units as well. I love these hallucination send-ins. That is so beautiful. It's gonna take out 2 mines for free. Here comes Trap. Is gonna throw down 1 more storm. No, actually all of these mines will shoot first. There's still 4 storms available. 3 storms at least. Soon to be 4 or 5 storms again. I think almost at this point the Phoenix and the Templar by themselves could win this fight. Trap is not going to try, however. Just uses all of his units. Storms. GG gets called. The Trap takes the lead in this series 2-1. After an absolutely fabulous start in game number 3. Here we are with game number 4. Glittering Ashes. Going from one of the smaller maps into one of the larger maps in the pool. Straight away, once again, a Gateway Scout. Did we have two Twilight openers so far? 1 Stargate opener, but the Stargate opener was in response to the 1 base play. Curious to see if Trap once again is going to go into a Blink opener, or if he has something else in store. It's of course always possible. You can always say, hey, I do want to play that Blink again. Skir hasn't been too successful with these 2 gas builds lately. He was very successful in the GSL. He was so successful that he won the tournament. But now I'm just thinking, are they still the way to go, or are there better options? You're one of the players, by the way, that is the least likely to play that 3 Rex straight up opener. Single gas type of 3 Rex that Maru, Bian, even Bunny likes using it. I've seen Clem been using it for a while as well. Like there's a lot of potential with that build, and I'm just surprised to never see that be the opener here for Cure. It really is just a little bit surprising. Gonna have to see what this SV is gonna do. Okay, it's gonna be a quick factory once again. Factory before reactor, of course, on a large map. Very sensible play. And this is where the real difference is gonna be made. It's going to be a straight warp gate research. Once again, kind of excluding the possibility of a Stargate there. Second gas also getting thrown down. The Hellion will probably come out here as the first unit. It tends to be first unit. This gas, yeah, it has to be because this gas is late. So if you want to open up with a straight mine, I actually think you need to get a faster second gas. It's cool to see these little variations that Terrans have. I know that Bian always gets a very fast second gas, so he loves getting these mines first. Triple mine drops, things like that. What a guy. Yeah, here comes the car, and this really just is the difference. So now we see this Adept be here, and before we saw it with a reactor first, and that Adept walked into 3 Marines, and now these 3 Marines pop at 3 minutes rather than at, well, what is it, 3:44 or so, 3:45. So just a solid 15 seconds faster. You're basically an entire Marine cycle behind, but you're also an entire factory cycle ahead. That's just the advantage of the faster factory before that reactor. Also means your starboard's going to be quicker. This is better in that you can put on more pressure on your opponent, but if you want to play something like a tank push, or if you're afraid in the early game of dying to an Adept, the reactor before factory is simply a little safer and better option. Hellion is getting way more done than it should. Forces a pull off out of these workers, and also actually gets 2 worker kills, which is a decently sized deal. Also got the scout here, didn't he? Saw that robo. That's really nice. It's really nice to see that the timing on that robo, kind of knowing what your opponent is up to. Seeing 7 Marines into a Medivac. It's not taking a straight path either. No, this Medivac has different plans. I kind of started going around as Trap is moving on the map looking for a Medivac. Is not going to find it here. He's not going to find it whatsoever. And his units are out of position. Needs to start moving towards the ramp. Look at that boost in here though. Trap moving towards the main base. There is 3 Stalkers ready and there is Blink. Let's not forget about what happened in the first game when Cure played this exact same opener. These 7 Marines killed 9 workers and 3 Stalkers. First Stalker goes down already. So that's a pretty decent start here for Cure. Second Stalker is being targeted down. Also falls. This is already good for Cure right now. And now the probes need to start running. Full pull away. Medivac stays alive, so it's not the same amount of damage as was done in the first game, but this time around 3 Marines as well as the Medivac stays alive, and he killed 2 Stalkers on top of the 2 workers. We see Cure pulling ahead in the worker count right now. I think there was a bit of a probe cut at the same time as well. Fantastic opener once again here for Cure, and reminiscent of that game number 1, is actually going into a 2 tank follow-up here. So you have 4 Stalkers in a prism heading out across the map. Immortal being built here as well. It's kind of interesting. And charge. Okay, so it's going for a very heavy Immortal charge army. Perhaps similar to what we saw on Berlingrad already. As these 4 Stalkers are moving towards their target. I'll start blinking into this main base. Get 1 worker. Get 2 workers. And we have the pickup. 2 SCVs go down. 2 shots get hit on these Stalkers. 1 Stalker in the red. I think this might just be the end of the Stalkers' lives. Or well, the Stalkers' harassment lives. Maybe pop into the natural one time to see if there's anything there. Yep, Stalker falls. We have a lot of damage actually being done. 5 more workers. GG! Wait, there was something in the main base, wasn't there? Oh, it was the Raven. I was like, what's happening here? Oh, I don't think he noticed it. Or what happened here? Or he just... This was kind of random. Look at this. Look what happened here. So, the Raven pops in together with the Marines. This is cute. The Raven throws down the auto turret. But this auto turret just goes for these guys. So you have no mining. And you're losing these guys. I think a Stalker ended up going down here. And then this Raven is still alive. And it feels like... Yeah, that actually was just dead. It looked so close though. It looked so close in supply. And then all of a sudden, boom. 30 supply up is Cure. Very similar to that game number 1. Funny how that works. Very funny how that works. He does the same build twice and wins twice. And now we're going to see in game number 5 if Cure's going to try the same trick a 3rd time. But not quite sure if he will. Game number 5 here on Hardwire. So we have... we're going to have to see where Trap's priorities are going to be. He's going to throw down a pylon here. He's not going to be moving across the map yet. Most likely just going to see another quick gateway scout. Yeah, I'm curious to see what he's going to be doing. Oh. He's selecting this thing. Oh! Click the... the little moo bot, I think it's called, right? Or the cleaning bot. The cleaning bot got clicked to death. I think on the cleaning bot you need to click 32 times in order to take it out. Very quickly as well, 32 times. Then it explodes by itself. Very cool moves there out of Trap. Good start for him already, taking out the cleaning bot, while Cure still has the cleaning bot in his main base. Extremely nice. Alright, we're gonna see a barracks here being built on the high ground. We have an eBay block coming in, so we do see a switch up here out of Cure. Trap knows his timings, sends the 19th worker, or no wait, this is the 18th worker downstairs. Is going to be capable of taking out this eBay. And then you pull what, 1, 2 more workers, clear this eBay completely, and you get a Nexus at a pretty standard timing. Oh, he's gonna still go for a Zealot. Oh. I don't know about this one. I am... Okay, so this, what the Zealot does is, first of all, it gets you into a supply block, so you have less workers than usual. It delays your Nexus, and it usually... Okay, he's gonna take a faster gas, so his Nexus is gonna be really delayed. I was gonna say, you either delay your Nexus by a lot, or you're delaying your tech by a fair amount, because something is getting delayed because you have less minerals, and he's probably gonna go straight into Stargate here, but This build often leaves you in not a brilliant spot, eco-wise, is what I am going to be saying. It's just not great, eco-wise. It's fine, but not woohoo. You know, it's okay. Cure probably will be a little bit ahead. However, you'll get some compensation with a very quick Stargate, and that's what he's going to be getting. If this was anything but Stargate, I would have actually booked a ticket to Korea, knocked on Trap's door, laughed at his face, and then well, probably quarantined for 10 days because I escaped the hotel. But in general, it just wouldn't have been good. You need a reason to get quicker tech here, and the Stargate is really the only reason. That also makes this pretty predictable. We see the Zealot is completely useless, as Zealots always are. This is not a surprise. This honestly can't be a surprise for Trap either, that his Zealot did nothing. Like it didn't even force his opponent to pull away this worker. So yeah, like Trap looks at this and says, okay, that's normal. Like my Zealot was completely useless. I wasted 100 minerals. I'm sure glad that I did it. He's gonna have a pretty quick Stargate though. And maybe that is the reason why he did. I am just not sure. Phoenix straight away is going to be the answer here. This is a decently weird move out. This is the oddest unit composition. You have about 4 Marines, a Mine, and a Hellion walk into a Protoss base. Sounds like the start of a bad joke, and honestly I think this is how it might end as well. Like, pretty bad, and you wish you never were there to hear that awful joke. I'm glad that the Cure is gonna start heading back towards his natural base, because he really has nothing to do on the other side of the map. This is a interesting Widowmine position. It's not quite in the dark. Maybe looking for an Oracle kill. It's rallied like towards the right side. If it's a Phoenix, the Phoenix can just tank one shot, obviously. Ooh, it's going to be Phoenix Colossi. Very cool here, Trap. So switching it up. Once again, once the games get a little weird, so we saw that in the Blackburn game as well. Once the opener is a little bit wonky, we see a lot of Protoss kind of resorting to this Stargate opener. And the straight Phoenix really being one of the strongest ones. Oh, look at the Zealot. The way the Zealot's life is supposed to end. Yes, tank that shot, my friend. I built you and I had to cut 2 workers for you. And now you died against the mine. I sure am glad that you are around, my friend. This car is going to probably escape, as these shades aren't quite quick enough to catch up. You have a single Viking getting on the map, and he's gonna maybe get something juicy going here. That mine was close to shooting something, but he only would have shot himself in the foot, because Phoenixes can tank 1 mine shot, then he just will get lifted. So I'm glad he didn't. This Viking is gonna get, let me guess, 2 worker kills. If even. Do we get a recall, you think, on this? See how quick the response is out of Trap. Doesn't see it, 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 doesn't see it. 1, 2. God, I'm so good. 3. Well, that's life, I guess. Can't always win him, but I was close. Unless you put it in percentages, then I was off by 50%, which is relatively large. Like, if you run a country, and your country's budget is off by 50%, your country's probably bankrupt. But with StarCraft guessing the amount of probes that die to a Viking, and you guess 2, and then the answer is 3, 50% sounds like more than it truly is. So this is why percentages and statistics can often be abused for people's agenda. Be careful. Do not believe the mainstream YouTube channels like Loco. They're tricking you with statistics. I'm not quite sure if Loco actually ever talks about statistics, but I always wanted to say the mainstream StarCraft 2 YouTube channels like Loco. Ooh, double Viking here on the way. What's he gonna do with that? Actually, what is he gonna do with that? This is the worst push out I've seen in my life. He's gonna die, isn't he? Oh! Almost killed the Phoenix. He needs to go home. You need to go home, buddy. This is not the place for you to be. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is not where they want to be right now. This is the wrong side of the world, my friend. Uh-oh. Join the Marine Corps, they said. It would be fun, they said. We're gonna go on useful missions. These guys need to run for their lives. Ooh, I like this though. Taking out some rocks. Imagine going to the actual like Navy SEAL training and you get enlisted. And then your commander tells you to start shooting at rocks. I would not be happy. Waste of bullets, first of all. Second of all, don't we have more useful things to do? Oh, I like the animation on the rocks though. Looks cool. Boom. Rocks explode. There we go. What is this? eBay. +1 is done. He just keeps building more Vikings. Right? Just for... What is this push? A no Medivac army. This is like the type of stuff people did in Wings of Liberty and then realized that it wasn't good. Now, Cure is absolutely brilliant. And he's very smart. And he's very good. So I am curious to see how this is going to be going. He's kind of using these Vikings to push away the Phoenixes and push away the Colossi and then slowly leapfrog forward. I love this push actually. This is super cool. I have never seen this before. Maru played something like this in the past, but I always do believe that he had some Medivacs with this. This is just straight Viking. Look at this. Trap feels the need to straight up engage into this, but the Vikings are putting in a lot of work. Marauder count is big. Turrets are being set up right now. If these two turrets finish up, he's just going to crawl forward with more turrets. We have more tanks on the way. Vikings rallying across the map. Viking count is growing. A Void on the way. You know what the correct call here is for Trap? This sounds stupid, but it is to take this base. Pretend like you're defending this base, but just give it up. And with your Phoenixes, go around to try and pick off reinforcements. Yeah, I think he should have pretended a bit harder, and that fort base should have already been on the way. It should have been there a little bit faster, but honestly, I can't blame him, because when do you see the scenario, and when do you have the time to think about that? Well, not a whole lot, because no one does this. This is such a weird little push. I love this Viking control as well. Out of Cure's gonna get... Oh my god, almost gets one of these Phoenixes. One Phoenix does end up falling. Second Phoenix falls. Good control. This Void Ray is gonna get rallied straight into this Marine army. They don't want to stim because they don't have any Medivacs with them. Like, you can only use Drug so many times without going to the ER. Oh, here comes an engagement out of Trap. Phoenix is not in position to quite... zone out these Vikings. The Vikings get a couple of decent pot shots on these Colossi. The rest of Trap's army, where is it? Well, it's not here. There is no rest of Trap's army. This is Trap's army right now. And Trap needs to recall. What a crazy build order here. No Medivacs. How does this even work? The no Medivac push. Pure Viking rally. Now we have 2 Medivacs on the way. This army is getting very bruised. There's 8 Vikings on the map though. There's just not enough anti-air. These tanks are taking care of everything on the ground. We have unstimmed bio walking around as kind of a way of saying don't even dare walk in there. Pure wins with this. This is the coolest build I've seen in a long time. Holy crap. When did he decide to do this? So he did this push out with these Marines, right? Yeah, these Marine push out that I make fun of and started making lame jokes about. Then he killed the rocks. And at this point he's already producing Vikings. In my mind, these Vikings were to stop the Phoenixes from harassing his reinforcement line. But then he just continues building them. Oh, this was beautiful. This was such beautiful play. This was actually beautiful play. What a great strategy. Medivacless push. Okay, I want to kind of see at what point Cure or Trap could and should have realized what is happening. So he doesn't really have a lot of good map vision. And then at some point, like now, he sees like 4 Vikings. If you see this, I think you immediately take this Nexus. You send the Phoenixes around to start picking up reinforcements and you warp in a bunch of Stalkers. You're pretending you're holding this. You continue. Look at that. I think that's the way. But he waited very long. Like, so 7:30 was the timing. So by the time he has to give up this Nexus in his mind, his next Nexus could already be done. So that would be now. Now the Nexus would have been done already. And then imagine you clear these units or force them to stay home. Maybe eventually you can force a fight here or continue growing your Phoenix count or get Charge out and Templar Archives and maybe they fight. Beautiful build out of here. Here's actually going to win the series. Was it 3-2 as well? So the best of 5 is over, but it was very cool. So I just had to take a quick look at it. I'm sorry. Got excited. Won't happen again, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you all next time for more and new videos. As always, I appreciate your time, and bye-bye.